Starting off with political changes in Japan. So as times began, the 15th century ended with chaos in Japan. The shogunate central power had just collapsed, which gave way for new people to move in. The important definition is daimyos, which are head of noble families, and they control lands and warred with neighbors. They were their own little independent power, which moved on to the late 16th century, which was a plan to unify Japan once again. It started off and took 3 rulers until unification was over. Starting off with Oda Nobunaga, which began the process of unifying central Japan. By 1582, he achieved his goal. He gave over the power to Toyotomi Hideyoshi. He established his capital in Osaka, and he persuaded the daimyos to unite with the rest of Japan. He completed his goal by 1590, and he died 8 years later in 1598. After him, we had Tokugawa Ieyasu. He was actually a daimyo himself, but as I stated previously, they unified with the rest of Japan. But anyways, he was a shogun in 1603, and he ruled on the emperor's behalf. He was the third and last ruler, and he completed restoring central authority in Japan. His era was labeled as a Great Peace period, as stated in the nickname, it was peaceful. By 1868, though, the Tokugawa shoguns' power ended and times changed as the first Europeans began to arrive, bringing their culture, their goods, their religion. The Portuguese landed in 1543, and they began stopping regularly in Japan ports for regional trade with Japan, China, and Southeast Asia. At first, there was no problem, and actually the Chinese wanted the Europeans as they had goods and weapons that helped the Japanese expand in power. Missionaries in 1549, though, ruined it all for the Europeans as they broke the relationship built between Japan and Europe. It all began with Christian missionaries persuading Japanese to become Christian, and Japan power was not that happy about it. So, like I said, in 1587, the ban of Christian activities and European merchants took place. And after that went the Dutch, because they also banned the Dutch, and only a small number of Dutch people were allowed to stay. And there was a very limited amount of Dutch ships who were given a very short stay. I'm talking about 1 merchant ship each year, and they were only given like 2-3 months to stay. So this wraps up the political changes in Japan.